This is actually the inspiration for the whole video. If you were wondering why I decided to do this, that is the reason why. Hey guys, it's your girl C, and I'm back with another V. And today we are going to be doing something that we never do on this channel. I'm talking about like never. We're going to be doing a discussion, right? A healthy discussion alongside, well, my skincare routine. That's why I'm not wearing my glasses right now. Not that I don't want to, but because, I need something engaging for you guys to actually, watch while I'm doing the whole talking thing, because I think it would kind of get a bit boring and monotonous. But anyways, I hope you guys are refreshed and ready for exactly what we're going to be talking about today. The topic is basically going to be about technology, its advantages and its disadvantages, but mainly on the disadvantages, because I think we all know the basic advantages of technology, how like it helps you be able to communicate with people, how at the same time it keeps you busy, keeps you updated. At the same time, some people now have like school and work, and people don't want to be necessarily like having meetings and stuff like in real time. They want to do it like on a call type, you know what I mean? So I think it does have its advantages. I want to do my homework, I do it online. I can do online meetings, etc, etc. But what about when it gets too far? You get into a grocery store, all you can see people doing is, sometimes they're not even using it for a grocery list. People are supposed to be having a family dinner, but all they're doing is everybody. Like, that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so y'all never miss any new episodes. I think one of the most prevalent issues that have to do with basically just using technology in general is probably like lack of communication skills. And I think this one is like super obvious, but like, okay, let me just expand a bit. I've already washed my face using the Oxy daily face scrub because I've been using the face wash lately, and I think I just need to like get in there a bit. But anyways, that's besides the point. Now my skin is kind of drying, so I'm going to begin to use this. I don't know where I got this toner actually, because it was quite a while ago, and I actually had like a larger container for it, and then I poured it into here because, well, I was traveling, and you know how you can't really carry like those bulky products, so I had to put like it into here, as you can see. And yeah, I think this is kind of useful. But anyways, getting back onto the topic we were talking about, we were basically saying that there's lack of communication skills, and that's very much obvious. I don't know. I feel like when people are constantly using their phones and devices, it can become very easy for them to just forget how to actually have real life, communication skills. Like, people don't know how to live. It's more of, you're constantly texting, you're not actually getting. I know some people who can't even like answer phone calls, one of them being actually me. I won't lie, it gets very annoying when you know that like you could be texting somebody, right? Why would you go all the way to their house to say hi when you could literally say it on the phone? It just makes things way more convenient. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's a good thing. But what about when you actually need to get into like a job interview, or you're actually professionally meeting somebody who could change your life, and the only thing you can say is hi? I think it's obvious that it's very easy to be stimulated by social media. For example, Instagram, TikTok, the big ones, you know them. And from there, you won't really gain better relations with those who are around you. There's this one time I went into this restaurant, right? And I noticed something. There was this family. All of them were literally using their phones, and like none of them were talking. They were just waiting for their food. Maybe I don't even know what they were doing. But when I asked like, "Hi," like I was just greeting. I'm a person who just likes to greet people. Here they are, and they're like, "Oh, hi." I'm like, "What's up?" Like, you guys are all on your phones, and they're like, "Nah, we're just having a family dinner. We just wanted to get along and talk." But you see, they're not in the moment. That's the thing. They aren't even taking the chance to talk or look at each other. It's just phones. And the only excuse people have for that is, "Oh, I'm busy," or "I have like work to do." Like, you can do that any other time, but when you're eating with your family, can't you just put the phone down? Like, and the only thing that people will be doing on their phones is low-key just looking at people's Instagram posts, the ones that they've seen 1,000 times. Like, not only does that lead to like poor self-esteem, but it can also lead to like comparison and stuff. And I personally don't know. It leads to a spiral, bro. Your like attention span will go from here to here, just because you've been using these things. Mind you, the designers of the algorithms, they don't let their children use the apps. I am so sorry to say this, but Instagram, TikTok, they need to go. For the next part of this, I'm going to be going in with this facial serum moisturizer thing. Okay, so basically, with the next point, I'm going to be talking about addiction. Social media can bring addiction. Yeah, so this is just, well, can it just focus? Just focus, please. Okay, it's not gonna focus, but it's the Garnier Skin Active Even Matte Vitamin C Booster Serum. I don't know. But wait, before I do that, actually, let me put on some Vaseline on my lips because my lips are actually chapped. Okay, so in terms of addiction, I'm basically talking about like general just overusing or abusing the apps. Like these are algorithms that are designed to make somebody like hooked, mind you. Whatever you want to watch is exactly what they're gonna show you. And of course they're sometimes gonna mix match so that you can, get that spiral. So that you're like, oh, I wanna scroll, maybe I'll find what I want next. Like if you like slime videos, they're gonna put that exactly on your For You page. So that you can see that all the time, and it's stimulating, honestly. It gives you lots of dopamine and stuff. Dopamine rushes, they're cool. But like low-key, that addiction can be extremely bad, especially if you have stuff to work on. Like you have like school, you have work, whatever you do, whatever your employment looks like. If you have all that to do and all you find yourself doing is scrolling on social media, seeing posts that you've seen before constantly and just impulsively scrolling, like you don't even know what you want to watch. Like if you were to just take a moment and just ask yourself, what if I just stopped and then told myself, like, what do I want to watch? Why can't I just search what I want to watch and watch a 15-minute video on that? Like imagine where you'd be, because your attention span is so low right now that you can't even stay watching a freaking 15-minute video. You can't even go through a long comment that has sense. You need to be constantly stimulated. If you're listening to a story time, you have to have Subway Surfers playing in the background. Like, I'm sorry guys, what are we doing? So this is now the segment where I talk about just like general posture. I don't know if you all have noticed, but like I've noticed that like people nowadays, they just don't have a straight posture. And I'm one of the people who I'm talking about. I'm not saying I do have like a very good posture, but like I'm working on it, okay? And I feel like the more that we make ourselves just like, when you're looking down at your phone, your neck is constantly like itemized, and you know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm not blaming social media. You can use social media, you can use YouTube, you can use, those type of things that just don't lead you into a spiral. Because when you're watching YouTube, you know what you're watching, and you're watching a 17-minute video on something that actually has sense. And I keep expressing this because, you know what, I understand YouTube Shorts is bad. I get that. And you should not be watching YouTube Shorts compulsively. But I'm saying if you actually watch general YouTube videos, like for example PBS Eons, What If, those type of channels, I actually appreciate them. But what are you watching, bro? You can't be looking down at your phone like 15 hours a day. Do you understand how many years of your life is that? Like, guys, let's be mindful about what we watch, because I am saying this as somebody who has been through these spirals. We need to get out of this, because these algorithms, they aren't trying to be your best friend. I talked about how our concentration span is kind of like shortened like that because we use like social media and those type of apps, right? But I don't think I expressed like how deeply it can affect your concentration. Like, guys, people cannot concentrate anymore, and that is because you've been constantly put in a realm of scrolling. All you do is scroll, 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 scroll. Each of those scrolls give you a dopamine hit, as I was talking about, and the more that you do that, the more the unexpectedness of it. You don't know whether the next video that's gonna come up is actually going to be fun, whether you're gonna like it, whether you're gonna find it stimulating, and you're like, oh, the next one will probably, as I said, right, that can really, really, really reduce your attention span. Because maybe if you are watching a bunch of videos that were about the same thing and they were constantly just making sense, but then if you see like you're watching something maybe educational, the next thing is just a TikTok dance or whatever, it just doesn't make sense. It's better that like it's a uniform thing rather than just having things that are just changing, and that dynamic state of, I don't know, mind that you're having. It can really take a toll on your mental health, like seriously. And that is exactly why people nowadays are so depressed. It's not necessarily because of us comparing ourselves. It can also just be because of like the amount of like dopamine insensitivity we're getting. Like, you don't necessarily react the same way you used to. Like, it just becomes less pleasurable to be scrolling when you do it so much, if you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of the same thing. If you stop eating sugar for a long time, then when you do eat it, even if it's like from fruits, it'll hit different. This, it's, I understand that it's like in a Nivea item, but then the reason why is because, well, it has a lot of stuff in it, and well, I just wanted to keep it different, you know. I like the container, so I just wanted to use it again. So basically what's in here is OxyQ10, just put a little bit of it. I put some Avon sunscreen, and then I also put the Oxy daily facial moisturizer. Don't know if that's what it's called, but yeah. Okay, so on this topic we're going to be talking about like general just sleep and productivity, as well as, well, eye strain. Okay, starting on eye strain, if you continuously use like social media and those type of apps, or generally just using your devices for a long period of time, it can cause eye strain. I would like to explain the physics behind it. Basically, on the physics aspect of it, I know that some people might not want to watch this, so you might as well like skip if yours don't want to, you know, talk about that. But then, like, generally, the more that you look at a close object, right? Because when you're using your devices, you're obviously looking like, you know what I mean, like a, yeah, that type of thing. And basically what happens is that you have what we call ciliary muscles inside your eye. So those are like the items that like help either like contract or relax the suspensory ligaments that connect to your lens. And the more that you look at a close object, for accommodation to take place, which is basically a process where like light basically just focuses on your retina due to like the contraction and relaxation of the ciliary muscles and the suspensory ligaments, what happens is that your ciliary muscles will basically just like contract, and when they contract, that allows the lens to be just like fatter, right? So that like the light can be reflected, because when the light is coming from an object that's close by, it basically is just, it's spreading out. That's what it is. It's diverging, and it needs to be like converged. So your ciliary muscles will be contracting. When muscles contract, that leads to, you know, fatigue, right? And yeah, eye strain. Back onto the topic that we were talking about. That's eye strain for you, and no one wants eye strain. I don't think anybody wants to experience eye strain. But apart from eye strain, you can also get, well, blurry vision. I'm not really sure like how blue light gives blurry vision, but it does. And some of us wear glasses, and trust me, you do not want blurry vision, okay? Especially not myopia. But apart from that, well, another thing that I can do is completely mess up your sleep schedule. And I won't lie, that is me right now. Like, I basically sleep at average maybe 1, and I think that's like terrible, especially for somebody who's like in their teen years. I feel like that's actually scary. But like, we're trying to fix it. That's exactly why I'm making this video. Let's heal together. I feel like in general, your sleep schedule and your circadian rhythm should not be affected by your phones or technology in general, because as a developing person, you need to be getting at least 8 hours of sleep, especially if you're a teen. Anything above that, at least 7 hours, please, because 6 is kind of like an understatement, because your brain does need to function and stuff like that, need to regenerate and whatever. And remember, you need to remember stuff. So if you want to remember stuff, you need to sleep, because that's when your brain actually stores things in your like long-term memory. So if you're a student, this is good for you, as well as if you're an adult, you don't want to be burnt out, so you need to sleep. It is recommended that you actually switch off your phone at least 30 minutes before you go to bed, so that you can actually get time for your brain to, well, ease out, because, well, you would have been working the whole day and you want to sleep. So as I was saying, like, if you're a student, you're parent, or like an adult, you need to get those good hours of sleep. So make sure that you at least sleep 7 hours. Everybody should at least sleep 7 hours. Apart from that, like, yeah, don't keep your phone in your room but when you go to sleep, so that in the morning you don't end up spiraling into using your phone. The first thing that you do when you wake up should not be using your phone. I am literally being serious. Your brain needs some time to adjust. Blue light as well, it drains your circadian rhythm. So I feel like maybe not use your phone before you go to bed, or else you won't actually be able to like sleep. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be involved in a car accident because somebody couldn't just like look at the steering wheel, somebody couldn't just delay that phone call that they need to get to. I'm sorry, and I feel like that one is just, that's an obvious one. You don't want to be dying because somebody can't keep their freaking face off the phone. And apart from that, like, low-key, I feel like it's just becoming too normalized. Like, in church, even, I don't know if y'all are religious or whatever, but, like, even today in church, I noticed, like, I'm talking from myself and my family, bro. Literally everybody, nobody was even like paying attention to what was going on. At some point I even asked, why are we here if no one's even like paying attention? Everybody was on their phone. Mind you, this was not to use the Bible app. This was just being on your phone. Like sometimes you're not even doing anything, you're just scrolling through pictures that like are in your gallery. Like what's the reason? What is the actual reason of using your phone in church? Like I thought we had been here to praise God, but no one is really doing it. I feel like sometimes we're just a bit delusional when we use our phones. Like there's so much more that is there to life. It like stops you from like living in the present, if that makes sense. Like instead of enjoying what you're seeing right now, I don't know, on social media or something like that, you're not really appreciating the breeze that's in the air right now. You're appreciating church. Come on, guys. And I was doing that too, and I'm just realizing now that's insane. And this is today. This is actually the inspiration for the whole video. If you were wondering why I decided to do this, that is the reason why. I'm basically done, but I just wanted to like state some other things that I just thought would be kind of beneficial for y'all to know, so I can kind of give you that push to actually start working on stuff. Did you know that 1 in 4 adults worldwide are not meeting the recommended levels of physical activity, and that basically leads to like problems like diabetes, stroke, etc, because people cannot lose the fact that they're gaining from sitting down the whole day. And honestly, for our generation, it's kind of scary because we're still in school, but we're barely even exercising at this point. Like, and even if you are exercising, you're doing it for like the camera. You're like, oh, okay, hockey trip, like, and you take a picture, or I don't know, like I'm getting into this, and you're just, it's always just about the mainstream. No one's really doing it for the sake of their health. And I personally feel like a lot has to change. Like, it's getting pretty scary. And if we really want to, have a long life, one full of fulfillment, because actually it is also stated by the WHO that parents who are like full of anxiety and depression, the main reason is because, one, they aren't getting enough vitamin D. That means that you should go outside, which you're not doing because you're using your phone. And two, that it can cause anxiety and depression. Like anxiety and depression caused by just not getting enough physical activity. Physical activity, literally, it is necessary for a human being to stay normally functioning. So next time when you think about using your phone the whole day, ask yourself, why don't I just go touch some grass? Literally, just why don't I go touch some grass? It's not even that big of a deal. Just go outside, take your dog for a walk, do something. Just literally do something. Unless of course you want diabetes. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video and do end up taking what I said into consideration, because I do care about my subscribers, and I do want you guys to be very mindful about the algorithms that you guys are using. Apart from that, I'm not saying don't use social media. I'm not saying don't use your phone. That is not what I'm saying, because it does have its benefits. Yeah, any new video suggestions, you can just comment down below, because yeah, just do that. But anyways, I do appreciate like all of the support you guys gave me in the boarding school video. We got about like 22 likes and about 500 views almost, and let's get to 500. So after watching this video, you guys can go and check that out. And yeah, please subscribe, like, and don't forget to hit that bell so y'all never miss an upload. So yeah, Seashell out.